Hi guys, hello boys and girls, good morning everybody. That's me, Robbie from EnglishHarmony.com, and in this short video I'm gonna comment on a comment I received a couple days ago on my latest YouTube video, and here's what the person says. Thanks a million, Robbie, for the time and efforts you dedicate to help us. You're very welcome, and I really enjoy posting these videos, and I'm glad you enjoy watching them. My biggest lifetime mistake was that I always underestimated the importance of watching movies in achieving the desirable command of English, because I used to think that it's not very sexy for a well-educated person to waste their time on movies. And I can clearly see where this person is coming from. Basically, what he says is that throughout his life, throughout his professional life and English studies and professional studies, he was only focusing upon formal English studies, but he basically neglected conversational English, day-to-day English, simple English. And as a matter of fact, simple English is used across all industries. It's not as if you're a well-educated person, an intellectual, that all of a sudden you've got to be using formal English in all life situations. As a matter of fact, nothing could be further from the truth, my friends. In pretty much any industry, 80 to 90% of conversations consist of friendly English, simple English, conversational English, colloquial English, phrasal verbs, expressions, and so on and so forth, and only in the most formal situations and occasions and very, very formal meetings and whatnot, and more often than not, specifically in writing, you've got to be using very specific, very formal language. But other than that, you should be focusing on simple English. And as this person goes on to say in his comment, now I'm a doctoral student who writes impressive formal law review articles, but sucks at speaking. And I can totally relate to that. I'm sorry, because that's exactly the way I used to feel a few years ago, right? And then he says, this is really a shame when I'm invited to give a presentation. It's as if I'm invited to be hanged. And basically that person is afraid of public speech, afraid of speaking in front of other people, because the spoken language is a totally different story. It's a whole new ball game. Speaking is not the same as being able to write in a very specific and formal way, right? And then he says that once when I was doing my LLM in Sweden, our course coordinator called me into her office and told me this article cannot be yours. You can imagine how that could be disappointing, and I could definitely relate to that, because basically what this is all about is you can write in a completely different way. You can write much, much better than you can actually speak. And this is the typical English fluency issue, basically. We can create written content with no problems whatsoever, but when it comes to speaking, basically performing with your mouth in real life, that's when the whole thing just goes out the window and you just can't speak for reasons you can't really explain. But those reasons are pretty simple and straightforward indeed. Basically, you've been trained to write well, construct sentences on a piece of paper, but when it comes to speaking, you just haven't been trained to do that. But this is where I actually disagree with the author of this commentator. He says, so heed to my advice, everyone, and never ignore movies. Use it or lose it. Well, just because you're watching movies doesn't necessarily guarantee your ability to speak, right? So the last bit, you're saying use it or lose it, actually means speak it or lose it, because using the language means speaking the language. And I suppose the fact that this person refers to watching movies and its importance in developing your spoken language is because it kind of goes without saying that you're going to be watching movies and then using that same language when you speak. But it's of the utmost importance, my friends, because if you simply watch movies, it's not going to necessarily develop your ability to speak. So basically the bottom line is you've got to be speaking no matter what. But of course, watching movies is a good place to start because you can source a lot of content for your daily conversations in movies, which is a beautiful source of simple everyday language. And as a matter of fact, that's what I'm doing myself. I watch movies every so often, and then I oftentimes absorb some of that vocabulary by way of repeating and memorizing certain phrases and sentences, and then I use them in my conversations myself the next day, and that's how it happens. That's how you build your active vocabulary. And basically, that's about it. That was the video I decided to record for you today, my friends, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.